Hello, Niner faithful, and welcome to Niner Faithful Radio's post-game show. I'm your host, Jaymie. I'm here to talk about the post-game show from today's game with the 49ers versus the Chiefs, and talk about this game. Yeah. As always, follow us on all the social media platforms. We're on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Niner Faithful Radio. Um, and if you find any of those things, you'll find us on all of our other platforms. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it with that intro stuff out of the way. Um, yeah, so this game was interesting. Um, so first things first, final score was 49ers 23, Chiefs 44. So obviously the 49ers lost. This was going to be a tough game no matter what. I was most interested in this game because the Chiefs are very clearly a very good team. So I was wanting to see exactly where the 49ers were at while stacking up against a tough opponent. I don't know, guys. It was they were hanging in there the first sorry about that. They were hanging in there the first half of the game. It was like 14-13, like the first half of the game, so it was real close, and it was actually like I was listening to it at work, and it was a really good game. And it was, yeah, it was hanging in there. Jaymie was doing good. We were scoring touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey looked really solid. Um, Coming in on limited offense knowledge and stuff like that. His limited snap count. He looked great. Um, we didn't really have any serious injuries at that point. Um, and so it was just like we were doing well, and then second half the defense just kind of crumbled because the defense is hanging in there, but they just kind of crumbled, and we just ended up losing. And it got out of control to the fact that they put Brock Purdy in like near the end of the game because it was that out of control. Man, it was a very tough game. Um, I I will be honest with you. I wasn't sure like I didn't think we were gonna win. I just thought the Chiefs were just too hot on offense to really, despite how good our defense is, like to really full on stop them. Because Patrick Mahomes is gonna Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna do whatever he wants. Apparently, it's just it's kind of a wake up call. Maybe the defense has been playing really crappy offenses, and that's why they've looked so good. And now they're playing decent offense, and they look terrible. So I don't know. And I think another thing is we rushed people back too fast because players back too fast from injury. Because I feel like a lot of players were hoping to play this game, but maybe we should have waited. Trent Williams came back. He did not look good. Look good. She did not look good at all. Defense just in general was not good. Even Nick Bosa struggled this game. He did not have a good game this game, which you don't hear very often. So that was kind of surprising. The Chiefs figured out how to kind of neutralize him and not make him a factor in this game, which probably helped them tremendously. But yeah, it's weird because it's this team is very weird because they're very bipolar in a way. Because like if the offense is working, the defense isn't working. But if the defense is working, then the offense isn't working. They cannot get on the same page. And I don't know why. This roster is too talented for this to still be a problem. So I do not know what is going on. I was looking on Twitter. There's a lot of people who want to who is blaming this on Jaymie. Jaymie actually, like, besides the pick, and also that pick I felt like was sort of just I don't know. It was a bad pick, but it also was going into halftime, so I think he was just trying to do something, but he got into his own blitz and it was just bad. It was just all bad. The safety isn't excusable though. That's stupid. Um, but Jimmy's been playing better these last few weeks, so I don't know. It's just this whole situation is so weird. This team is so strange to me. Um, it's just like I don't know. I really don't know what to do with this team because they got to figure it out desperately. And it's getting to a point where it's almost too late. I know we have the Rams next week, the run by, which is I think desperately needed. Um, so hopefully they can bounce off, get a win going into the bye week, and then we play the Chargers after that, and hopefully that's a good team. Um, Man, it was just like a whole ass struggle, honestly. Like I was listening to it on my phone at work, and the first half I was into it. I was listening to it. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, and then freaking the second half of the game, the Chiefs were just slowly going away with it. Honestly, like the defense was kind of at the beginning holding on, but after that, they just like the Chiefs offense could not be stopped. Indicative of the score. Um, so I don't know. It's interesting. This team is very interesting, and I don't know at all what to think about this team because it's just they just gotta figure something out because whatever they're doing isn't working, and they gotta figure it out. They really, really do. I don't know. Um, it was National Tight End Day. Kittle did get a touchdown, which is nice. Normally, Kittle production wise isn't very high on National Tight End Days. I don't think he's. I think like the last 2 years, it hasn't been. They've tried to get him the ball, but it just hasn't worked out. This time, they definitely like got him a touchdown, which is nice. Travis Kelsey of the Chiefs, I've never doubted he was good. He's just one of those players I know is good, but sometimes I just kind of goes in the background until you watch him play and you're like, holy crap. So he's amazing. Yeah, the Chiefs are just really good and they have a good enough defense where they're hanging on and it's wild, man. Chiefs are wild. Yeah, there's some drama stuff on 49ers fan Twitter. I'm not gonna get into that, but um, we'll just have to see what happens. I really hope that like we go into the bye and like come out of the bye, we just like go on a tear because that's the only way we're gonna be doing anything. Um, there's still a lot of football left to play, but there's also not that much football left to play. It's very weird. Um, I just I don't know. It's just very weird. Um, Christian McCaffrey looked good, which is great. Um, Not surprising. He's a great asset to the team. I also saw somebody on Twitter saying this is why they didn't like to pick because he is good and he's worth the picks, but he's not going to fix the problems that the 49ers have. And I do agree with that to an extent. Um, so it's just going to be, I don't know what it was. The whole defense did not do well, and the offensive line struggled hardcore today. So it was rough. Trent Williams did not look like Trent Williams, and it's clear that maybe they should have given these guys more time off because they were not ready to play. And I felt like a lot of them were pushing themselves to play, which I respect that wanting to play and wanting to be there for this game. This is a big game, but Might have been better go with the backups, to be honest with you, and letting them rest another week. Maybe it would have turned out better. Um, because it's just very hard, you know? Um, I know a lot of people have this written as a loss, so that's actually pretty accurate. Um, there's just a lot. We're just going to see. I mean, at least we have the Rams next week. It's definitely a winnable game. Um, really hope the team is up for it. Really hope they, with the bye week, they really are able to come together, back together as a team, and get back on the same page. Because I think that's the problem. Everybody's not on the same page or something. I don't know. It's just kind of a mess. Um, yeah, I don't know. There were some injuries. I do have 2 clips to play in a few minutes that I'll play. I'm not gonna have this be a very long show, guys. It was a bad game. The Chiefs made the 49ers defense look pathetic. And so other teams that we play in the future are going to try to probably replicate that. And depending on how talented their players are and how well they're able to do that, we'll see what happens. But um, yeah, I think that's the biggest worry is now that there's tape on how to beat this particular 49ers defense. So that's a little bit worrying. Because the Chiefs offense made us look pathetic. Really. Like, especially in the second half. They just had their way. And we're going to town, and it's just crazy. Yeah, it's just sad, you know? Surprisingly, Nick Bosa did not have a good game, which is shocking. Nick Bosa always has a decent game. He did not. The Chiefs figured out how to not make him a factor in this game, which probably helped them tremendously. And that is pretty shocking. I have a clip about that too. I have one clip going over injuries, and I have one clip about Bosa, which is pretty from the post game pressures, which is pretty shocking. And stuff. I think that's kind of wild. Thank you, Niners Cyclist Podcast. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping by. I know it's a little bit late, so um, and stuff. So I do appreciate you stopping by for sure. Yeah, guys. If any of you are in the comments, feel free to message and chat or whatever. I love interacting with you guys. But yeah, it was a rough game. Started off entertaining, and then it kind of just tailspin into a Chiefs domination, and just crazy, man. What else? What else? Try to think. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see next week. Hopefully, the next week's a good bounce back week, and they're able to get right with the Rams again and go into the bye. Get rested up because the injuries. Yeah, that's the kind of sense I got on Twitter that the game was surprising and disgusting to watch. I was listening to it in my headphones, and it seemed pretty rough, guys. I'm not gonna lie. The first half sounded pretty entertaining, so there was that. But yeah, the second half, I stopped listening kind of late, but I was trying to keep up with what was going on. We have Jameson here. The game is trash. Yeah, it was not a good game for the Niners, guys. Not at all. Yeah, I know there's a lot of hot takes out there. Fire Kyle, get rid of McGlinchey, all of this stuff. We'll have to figure all of that out. Number 10 and 69 got to go. Did Jimmy play that bad? I know he threw the pick. I know about the safety. But I listened to the game. I didn't watch it, so I didn't see. I just saw the highlights. But the offense scored 23 over 20 points, which is not normal for us. So it's weird. And I don't know. Moguchi is very rough, and I think part of it is him coming back from injury. We'll just have to see. Um, Moguchi's an interesting topic that I had to do. I'd have to like think more about, because he's he's definitely a better run blocker than he is a pass protector, and that was definitely an aspect this game that was struggling. That game was embarrassing. Kyle and John and Jimmy and McClinchy all need to go. You really want? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna come back to this comment in just a second. Double pumped the ball in the end zone to take the safety, but it was more Williams' fault. See, I heard about the safety. Um, why did he double pump the ball in the end zone though? That doesn't sound. Yeah, I heard that Trent Williams did not have a good game. I heard it was more like national championship Trent Williams this game. Hopefully next week he's better. Um, I think part of this is I think a lot of players tried to come back from injury too fast this game because it was the Chiefs that they wanted to play. Because I think that with that Super Bowl loss a couple years ago, I think a lot of these and we still have a lot of those same players on the team. Not all of them, but there's a good chunk of them still around. Do not like the Chiefs. So I would not be surprised if this is the game that everybody was chopping at the bit to play, and maybe some came back too soon. Sean Payton should be our next head coach GM. Kyle, John, and Jimmy and McClinchy all need to go. Okay, this is something that I do that I could talk about for a few minutes. You guys remember the Chip Kelly, Jim Tosula, that era of 49ers football, right? From like 2017 to like that mid like 2015 to 2017 era. You guys remember that? Because I do. Because that's when I started really, really watching football. Because I had just watched the Niners go to the NFC Championship game in 2013 and lose to Seattle. And thus begins my hatred for the Seahawks very deeply. And me watching each year and getting crushed. I don't want to go back to that. And if we fire Kyle, that's probably what's going to happen. And we'll have to start this whole process. Kyle is not perfect. John is not perfect. None of the coaches are perfect. I understand that. I know people are tired about this, but there's really not that many other talented head coaches available right now that are at his close to his level. It isn't Sean Payton, and then there's this other comment. Sean Payton, isn't he retired? I'm not ready to give up on Kyle Shanahan until I see Trey Lance a whole season of. I agree. We still have to be giving Trey Lance a thought, and if we get a new head coach GM, you want to waste the trade for Trey Lance because he could not want Trey Lance because he could not fit the system. I agree with this take. Jimmy Ward and Trent Williams were slow, so maybe they did come back too soon. Yeah. Kyle's 42 and 46 as a head coach. That's not good enough. True, it's not good, but he's the first head coach since Harbaugh that's gotten us to NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl. We have not won those, but he's the one who's gotten us back into the playoffs, which isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we want? Because I'm confused. Like, yeah, a good season record is important, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Can't be afraid to get another Chip Kelly because in the process you can hire the next Bill Walsh. But with that said, I'm not ready to give up on Kyle. See, I'm not ready to give up on Kyle either. Because you're right. We could end up finding a next Bill Walsh, which would be fantastic. But I'm not ready to give up on Kyle because he has gotten us to playoff games, to 2 NFC Championship games, to a Super Bowl. So inside there is potential to get to the Super Bowl, and I think that's why we're all frustrated because we know the potential for the game, for us to get there. We have the talent, we have the potential. That's why we're all so frustrated. It's because we know we can do it. We have the roster to do it. We have the players to do it. Our coach is smart enough to do that. But I don't know. Sean Payton would be a huge upgrade. What is he doing? I'm just curious. Like I don't know. Kyle doesn't know how to develop a young quarterback. Do we know that for sure? I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't know. Has he ever developed a young quarterback? I know he was kind of involved with RG3 when he was in Washington, but I wasn't really watching football that much back then, so I don't know very much about that. So I'm kind of in the dark. It's Super Bowl or bust. Nothing else matters, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, we all want the Super Bowl. I agree. And yeah, we have to win enough regular season games to get into the Super Bowl, but if we, I feel like the focus, I don't know. I'd rather find a coach that actually believes in Lance. Do we really think Kyle doesn't believe in Lance? I don't know. Sean Payton is an upgrade. I read somewhere that before that if Kyle doesn't win the Super Bowl, he will be fired. I don't know. I don't follow those rumors. I mean, that would be crazy. That would feel like old Jed York coming out. Um, because didn't Kyle just sign an extension like either this year or last year? He signed an extension. Yeah, it sucks. But like Kyle's got us into the playoffs, two championship games, the Super Bowl. Yeah, we want to win the Super Bowl. We should have. And we always shoot ourselves in the foot, but we got there. And that's the first step before winning is we get there. It's just as important as winning the game. Sean Payton, what's a good product of a good quarterback? Like Drew Brees. No, I would love to have a Drew Brees. I would. Because Drew Brees was a very, very good quarterback. And it would be awesome. But I really thought Sean Payton retired, though. Do any of you guys know what he's doing? Because let me know. I just, I don't know. Next one. Kyle ran RG3 until he tore up his knee, just like he ran Trey Lance until he got hurt. Yeah, I did hear something about that. Kyle hands all tied up in a mediocre quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo. Wait until he has a healthy and ready to go Trey Lance. I agree. I want to see Kyle with a full season of a healthy Trey Lance. That's what I want. Oh, Sean Payton's a broadcaster now? Okay. Okay. That's cool. I don't know, guys. I think sometimes we just, I don't know. I just feel like firing Kyle right now would be a mistake. And honestly, and I've said this before on the show, I don't know if it was a post game show or our Friday show or whatever. I feel like Kyle just gets too in his own head and he's his worst enemy. And I think that's showing right now is he is too stubborn and he's so determined to prove that he is right that sometimes he gets in his own head. And I think that's why Mike McDaniels was a good coordinator here when he was here, is because McDaniels felt like the only person who could call him out on that sometimes. It's like try to get him to do a different play. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Kyle would have had a healthy length if you didn't run him into an injury. But isn't that part of Lance's skill set? Don't you want him to use his skill set? I don't know. I get so confused. Do you not want him to run at all? Because Kyle's system isn't a pocket passer. It's more mobile. I don't know. Once we beat the Rams, we're going forward for going to the bye week. Beat the Chargers after that. We 5-4. We have an easier schedule. Exactly. Exactly. We're almost at the bye. We're almost at the bye. We just got to beat the Rams, go into the bye. Let people come back. Relax. Stubbornness is what I mean. I agree, but Kyle's also thrown up some genius play calls. So I don't know. I don't know. It's not Kyle's fault Lance got hurt. That comment is so. Yeah, I don't think it's Kyle's fault. I think Kyle was just trying to use Trey to his skill set. I don't know. It's a whole thing, guys. Um, I don't know. I think this is showing our different. I don't know, because I remember seeing that game. I didn't watch that game either, so I don't remember how many times he ran during that game. But also somebody brought up the point on this talking about that Trey Lance run. Somebody showed the point of Lamar Jackson had a very similar play call, but he made a different decision. Because I think Trey kept trying to go forward or something. Lamar did a different move and was able to get out of the pile. So that also could just be Trey's newness, not understanding. There's so many things, and we have so much access to football stuff, and that's why we know a lot. But I guarantee you guys, there's still some stuff that we just don't understand. I was trying to use the best skill set of the young man, and running was one of exactly. And Lance got her call and read him twice all game. I love plays fans and their feelings. Yeah, if Trey only ran twice, like Cap for way more than that. So I don't know, guys. I think if one of Trey Lance's skill set is running, of course Kyle's gonna try to use that. So doubt. And Trey is a very young quarterback. He took so much time off from playing football. We forget. I don't know, guys. I think we get too in our heads too, but we'll be fine. We just need to see what happens the next couple weeks. Enjoy the bye week. Enjoy everything. It'll be fine. He was averaging like 12 carries a game. That's not sustainable. I mean, yeah, it's true if that's the case. I haven't looked at the stats too much. I broke the film down when Lance got hurt and explained to my followers how it was just one of those fluke type of injuries. See, I agree with that because Lamar Jackson, who's an experienced quarterback, was able to make a split second different decision in a very similar situation that Trey Lance was in and avoid that. Trey Lance, who is still learning and is a very young quarterback, does not have that knowledge yet. So it's just a fluke thing. You know? I wish I could find that clip, guys, but I swear I read, listened to a podcast or heard somebody say something similar to that. So we just gotta relax a little bit. I think that our biggest worry is that our defense got exposed. That's our biggest worry because that's what we were riding on is their defense, and our defense just got exposed. So I think that's honestly a bigger problem than anything now, because last 2 weeks our defense has been terrible, and they really got exposed today. So I think that's a bigger issue to worry about. Exactly. Because it's also football. There's going to be injuries. It's football. There's going to be injuries. There should not every injury is on the coach. It just happens. Hello, Damien. Hello. I just because some of these injuries are fluke plays, guys. I know our team gets hurt so much. I understand it. It is frustrating. I feel like along with us and the Chargers, we always get hit super hard. I don't know why. I don't know, but we do. And injuries are a part of the game. Should it be as high as it is of our teams? Probably not. So we're doing something. But I do think that some of these injuries are just fluke accidents. They just happen. So I think trying to blame everything on a scenario is not gonna help you guys. Not gonna help anybody. I'm more sad for Trey Lance that he's missing the time to play more than anything. Foreigners do have a dark cloud over them regarding injuries. Yeah, I agree. Listen, my cousin's a Chargers fan, and I don't know if you guys, I don't pay that much attention to the Chargers, but I do know, especially lately over the last few years, they've been hit with the injury bug as well. So I talk to my cousin about it all the time, and we joke about it that we're all both severely injured. Yeah, they are cursed. I don't know. It's just it is strange because I do feel like we get hurt more than a lot of other teams in the league. And I don't know why. And Kyle has been trying to change it because he's tried changing the strength and conditioning and training staff and stuff. So he is trying to figure out what the problem is. So I don't know. I'm starting to similarities between the Niners and the Cowboys players playing for contract and not the team's legacy, not caring or having passion for the team's history. Interesting. Interesting. Maybe God is punishing San Francisco. Oh, I don't know. Josh Allen runs a lot and Buffalo hasn't gotten hurt. It's just a fluke. Exactly. Exactly. It is. Sometimes it is just a fluke, guys. It's just, I know we want to put blame somewhere. We want to have a reason, but sometimes it just happens. Especially in this sport. I don't know. It's tough, guys. I feel your frustration. Like it's hard. And that's why I'm excited for the bye week because I really feel like these guys need a freaking week off because it's just draining on them. So I just really that's why I'm excited for the bye week. So and we'll see how next week goes against the Rams. But only positive thing is Christian McCaffrey looked great. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that. I talked about that a little bit at the beginning, but let's not fire Kyle, but he does need to be accountable for a lot of his stupidity. Yeah, I feel like he needs someone to help him. That's my thing. Is I feel like Kyle just needs help and somebody to help him keep everything in check. I feel like that's part of Kyle's problem. Melvin. Hi, Melvin. Hi. Hello, Melvin. It's great to have you in the stream. Thanks for joining us. Anyone know what happened to Greenlaw? He got hurt in the game. No, but I do have a clip that I could play for you guys about injuries real quick if you guys want to hear that. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Let me know if you guys can hear it all right.
Huff went out, had a shoulder, returned. The spotter put him in the tent, but he was fine with that. Greenlaw had a calf. Went for a little bit, ended up not finishing. And Demo had a stinger. He returned. Huff went out, had a
Yeah, his calf. Not his thigh, but yeah. Greenlaw had a calf injury. Kyle needs to hire an offensive coordinator. I agree with that. I've been saying that for like a season now. He does. And look, I get Kyle. It's his place. He wants to be able to call the plays, but he needs to have somebody there to help him. He does. He really does. Do you guys want me to replay that clip again? Did you guys hear it okay? So Huff had a shoulder stinger thing. He went back in. Greenlaw had tightness in his calf. And then who else? I forgot. I'm gonna just replay it because I forgot.
Shoulder returned. The spotter put him in the tent, but he was fine with that. Greenlaw had a calf. Went for a little bit, ended up not finishing, and Demo had a stinger. He returned. Huff went out.
Okay, Demo had a stinger. Okay. Yeah, there's that too. Any thoughts about Bosa having a quiet game, guys? Any thoughts about that? Because Bosa was kind of a non-factor this game. The Chiefs kind of figured out a secret on how to slow him down. I think that's a bigger thing to talk about, honestly. Because that's a little crazy. Because Bosa is so dynamic and stuff. So kind of wild. To be honest with you. I have a clip with Bosa talking about it too.
They throw a lot of stuff at me, and I need to be ready for it. They throw a lot of stuff at me, and I need to be ready for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of penalties this game. A lot. Bosa had a sack, but he was double teamed. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's. Yeah, I think Bosa gets double teamed a lot, but yeah, we'll just see. I mean, it's a little scary that the Chiefs were able to slow him down that much, but I have to see moving forward. Anything else you guys want to talk about specifically? I feel like I don't want to repeat myself too much. And to all the new people who are in the chat, hello, welcome. Say hi. Yeah, and I agree. I think we're kind of on the Kyle needs to hire an offensive coordinator. Zach was meaningless, had no impact on the game. Dre Jackson keeps showing glimpses of a great. Yeah, Jackson's been really, really solid this season. It's really exciting. I think one thing about this team, though, is that they've been smart and they've been focusing on making sure we have trying to make sure we have a good, solid rotation for the D line. I think that's helped their defenses tremendously, to be honest with you guys. I know we all got sick of them drafting D linemen, but some of them have paid off, some of them have not. But I think their focus on trying to make as good of a solid rotation is solid. He will replace Ibaka eventually. Yeah, probably. Most likely. So, yeah. Madison College and hire Sean Payton as an offensive coordinator. I don't know. That's a good question. Do they kind of run some offenses, right? I'm not sure. I don't study. I haven't watched that much Saints football, to be honest with you. In that one game, I think in 2019, I vaguely remember, but I don't remember that much. I think Kyle just doesn't. I think Kyle's a little bit of a control freak. He doesn't like giving up control unless. And I think he will until he gets until he has to. 4 sacks for Jackson, not bad for the amount of reps he gets. Yeah. That's another thing. Their infection who drafting defensive linemen is annoying. It might be annoying, but with us having a good solid rotation is not a bad thing. I don't like it either. It's boring and it's annoying, but it helps keep the D lineman fresher longer. But we'll see. Yeah, he probably wouldn't take a coordinator job. Most likely not. He's probably happy doing broadcasts. Jaymie, would love to have you as a guest on my show, and I could pick your IQ grade regarding football. Sure. Just let's see. I will hit you up later for sure. I'll find you. Put in your info and I will DM you, and then we can try to do something. Because I would love to have a podcast with you guys. I'm gonna see if I can get I'm gonna talk, but I'm gonna see if I can get my cousin on a live stream from when we play the Chargers, because I think that would be fun for the post game show if he can do it. Yeah, it's just we'll have to see, guys. It's just I think this game kind of went how I thought it was gonna go. It started off we were keeping up, and then it just got out of hand, which is what's kind of expected. It's I don't know. We'll have to see. I think, but if we can hang in there, and yeah, we're gonna have to really show out the rest of the season after the bye week. But if our schedule being easier, we might have a shot. So we just gotta see. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before I start wrapping up? I've almost been on for 45 minutes. Wow. We'll do, Niner. We'll do. I will do that for sure. And it's not. I agree, because could you imagine? Good night, everybody. I know we're going a little bit late. This will be the last thing, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Okay, guys, I don't want to be on here too long. Do I have a real elite quarterback? Yes. Could you imagine Patrick Mahomes on this team? We would be the most annoying team in football, because he would kind of be unstoppable in a way. So it's just we're going to have to I don't know. We're just going to have to run to Jaymie for right now, because Trey's hurt and Jaymie's the guy right now. So we just kind of have to accept it. It sucks, because it would be nice to have a quarterback who can mask a lot of flaws. And that's the joy of having an elite quarterback, is they can help elevate other flaws in the game. And you're right. And it's a struggle, and the team has tried to do that, but we will see. Any other comments? Man. I love GBG, but I don't think that we can't win a Super Bowl. Can't either. Yeah. I think with Jaymie, with the team, it's going to have to be the right circumstances. Everything's going to have to go right. And I think that's also just to get to Super Bowl. Everything has to go right for you to get there. So, and I think that's why it's so hard to get to Super Bowl. I think with elite quarterbacks, it's easier because they can mask a lot of problems. Shiva can trade for Tom or Aaron. Yeah, I mean, ain't that the truth? But, it is what it is. Guys, it is what it is. It's just tired. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Glad you guys were able to hop on. I went a few minutes early, but I do appreciate it. Remember, follow 905 Radio. We are at 905 R on Twitter. We're at 905 Radio on Facebook and Instagram. And if you follow any of those platforms, you can find all our links to all of our social medias on there. Everything should be fine. So if you have any comments or anything, address them on there. Yeah, I appreciate you guys showing up. It's been fun. It's so much easier when I can interact with you guys, make the shows go longer. You guys help steer the conversation. I appreciate that so much. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Okay. Let's just take a chill pill. Everything's going to be fine. We're almost at the bye week. I think we all need a break. So let's just have a good night. And as always, go Niners.